Discipleship is being spiritually formed into the words and the ways of Jesus Christ. And so a lot of times that's done by somebody walking alongside you and just mentoring you and committing themselves for you being the best person that you could be spiritually. In the fire service, some of the people that helped me most with my walk with the Lord are some of the officers that I had, because in this job, a lot of times what you see and what you experience can lead you on one or two paths. On the first path being you turn away from God because you see so many horrible things. But there's another path that you could take is you turn toward God. Discipleship in the fire department is very similar to in the church in the sense of there's certain principles that you're trying to instill into your people. We would sit around, we have conversations, not necessarily about firefighter skills, but just them as a person, who they were, what kind of father were they, what kind of son were they, what kind of friend were they. I felt that strengthening those made you a better firefighter. Whether I knew it or not, discipleship was kind of running its course even then, in my secular job. In 2021, I was at the job, I was at my desk, and I just started feeling a little different. What I would find out is later on is that I suffered a stroke on the job. It was a season of just a lot of uncertainties for me. I've been a firefighter for almost 25 years, and so that had been my identity. That's how I saw myself as a firefighter. And so once I had my stroke, I really had to grapple with the conversation of, is this something that I can continue doing? Just the stresses of the job wasn't conducive for my recovery. Robert Green, who was the campus pastor at the time, really reached out to me and established a friendship with me from the very beginning. So there was only so many things that I would share with somebody. That level of discipleship was something that I wasn't familiar with. And so over time, the wall that I had built up started to crumble a little bit. And so I did find myself confiding in him more. And he would confide in me as well, but just that back and forth was just not something that I was accustomed to. Eventually, I made the decision that it was time to retire. I believe it's the best thing that could have happened to me. While I certainly wouldn't choose it, I wouldn't change it now because there's so much fruit that has been born from me retiring from the fire service and now leading a men's group, being a discipleship coordinator, having so many conversations with men and women who, say that their life is now much more improved, that they stepped into community to help to have facilitated that. I think is the greatest blessing of all. I would encourage those who've been going to our church for years now to step into discipleship just by simply saying yes. We have a tendency to want to see the beginning and the end of things before we start. God just has a funny way of not showing you the end. He wants to just see your beginning. And so just start. Start tomorrow. Just start with one simple step. And just see where those steps take you. You don't have to know the whole story. You don't have to know how it ends, but you do decide how it begins. And so I would just say yes.